It's Operation Babble with Myke Shrews. It's pop culture, music, movies, TV too. It's time to explore life. It's Operation Babble time.
One world, one people. I hate it.
I'm here somewhat.
It's going to lead into the topic today.
Okay. I could barely understand what you said, by the way.
Oh, that's perfect.
I'm being lazy today and not putting real headphones on. So, yeah.
This is the sign of a man that's given up.
You're totally giving up.
Fair enough.
So, how are you guys doing today? It's a weekday, and I'm tired as fuck. I had 3 doctor's appointments yesterday, and I'm just over it already.
Get a finger in the bub?
No.
No. Shame. Got to pay extra for that, I bet.
Yeah. So how you guys doing?
Sir, I need my complimentary reach around with my blood work, please.
Is he the Joker now? I mean,
what? I don't even
Snyder
want to know.
Cut's reach around joke.
Oh, yeah. I've tried to forget that film already.
He's like, we're not talking about the Snyder Cut no more. Yeah.
It's a terrible film, dude.
We might be getting the Snyder Cut of the Snyder Cut, so who knows?
Awesome.
Yeah, because certainly didn't get his original vision. Liar. God. Fucking 4-3. Kiss my ass. That's going to piss me off every time I see anybody make a video about it.
Yeah.
Because they're all going to do their video in 16:9 because they're fucking lazy. And then all the footage is going to be 4:3. And I'm going to want to fucking stab my eyes out.
Right. Yeah.
What is this? WandaVision? Get out of here.
Horrible. Yeah. Anyways. Yeah. Welcome to Operation Babble. I am Myke Shrews. And with me today, I have, as always, John the Bald Man Bad. And Tivis, I won't say your last name because you probably don't like me to do that.
No, you're gonna try and dox our third? Come on. What's wrong with you? 5 minutes in, you're already doxing people.
I think I did like on one of his first episodes.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't.
I love that. Yeah. Ruined my life. It's why he moved, actually.
So before we dive into everything again, if you want to hit us up, Operation Babble at Facebook and Twitter, and then we are patreon.com/Operation Babble and Operation Babble at outlook.com. Just basically there to say hey, tell us what we're doing good, tell us what we're doing bad, all that fun shit.
I think I'm gonna do a trailer reaction to the new Suicide Squad trailer.
Awesome
for a Patreon. I think that might be fun.
Yeah.
Now that I've said it on fucking record, I kind of have to.
It. You gotta. There's no backing out now. So other than that, there's not much really going on at the moment. I do want to call Marvel out for some bullshit before we dive into what we're talking about with Marvel.
Oh, shit.
I started finally watching the final season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh.
And starting to realize that WandaVision basically stole their entire, we're going through the decade shit from that season. And it kind of pisses me off. Like, there's even a whole episode, spoilers, there's a whole episode where Coulson's doing like an inner monologue, and it's set like a 50s detective movie, and it's all in black and white, the whole episode and shit. I'm like, guys, and each intro so far anyways has been like a different title card for the different era that they're in. And I'm like, fucking Wanda stole that shit, all of that shit, because this was out way before Wanda was shot or anything. So,
yeah. Do they change the style of the show based on it? Like, not just like aesthetically, but like obviously with the noir one, you kind of couldn't help but do it because you're doing the monologue. But like, I know they like end up in like Peggy Carter's time.
Yeah, in the 50s. In the 50s.
Is it just like the show normal, just with like different clothing and different props and stuff, or is it actually like
kind of how DC Legends did the time travel shit, where they would show up, they would have their tech on their plane, but they wouldn't have the tech, when they were off their jet or whatever. So I'm only 4 episodes in, I believe. And I'm already like, this is awesome. Like, because I've been watching WandaVision, and then of course Falcon and Winter Soldier's first 2 episodes, and then I started watching the final season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and I'm like, this is so much better TV, guys.
Man, you're just at Marvel overload, which is weird because Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. had one of the worst start-offs.
Yes,
I think for a show like that. First season is really garbage. Like
Didn't
it's
get
really
good
bad.
until the Winter Soldier.
Oh yeah, the Hydra, the whole Hydra thing.
Stuff.
I'm sorry, it made it a completely different show from then on out, and it was so good. It was really, really good. It kind of reminded me, though, it had this problem that you could tell they went in a different direction, and they really liked, what's his name? Brett Dalton, I think is his name. The original protagonist. I can't remember his name.
Oh, fuck.
Right? I can't remember it.
Yeah, because they like killed him off like multiple times and brought him back.
Kept bringing him back. And it was like, I was like, God, this is just like Tom Cavanaugh with the Flash. They just don't want to get rid of the guy, but they're running out of reasons to bring him back.
Well, I mean, they've essentially, Coulson, yes, is like the main character, but they did that with him too. Because they actually did let him finally, spoilers, die at the very end season of when Infinity War was taking place.
Yeah,
that's when the show should have ended, and honestly,
probably. Yeah.
But then the next season they brought back Clark. Is it Clark Gregg? Is that his actual name?
Yes.
Yeah.
They
brought him back, but as a completely different character. From space or some shit, which. It was cool to see him to get to play a badass, like a bad guy and shit. So that was awesome. But then they did this whole thing where in this season, and then at the end of that season, you get to see Coulson again, where it's not Sarge, but it's actual Coulson. And
because they went back in time.
No, it's he's an android. He's a life model decoy, which is
LMD,
which is what everyone thought he was going to be in the first place when Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. first started.
Yeah.
So it's actually, maybe they did that as fan service or some shit. I'm not sure, but it was
probably
makes sense.
It works narratively too, so why not?
Yeah. So that's what he is right now. Is on this season.
I look
that
forward
I'm watching.
to seeing what you think, because about me and WandaVision. I heard it just ended horribly, and I have honestly like zero. I just don't want to watch it because they retcon shit, and it bugs me. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I fell off on the last season just because I was afraid. They kept getting good chances to end the show, and then they just kept not doing it. So I'm afraid that they might have overstayed their welcome. But I've heard pretty good things about the last season, so hopefully it finishes out pretty good. The one I'm worried about right now is Falcon and Winter Soldier, because people who know this podcast know that Civil War is probably my favorite MCU film. And it's half the reason why WandaVision pisses me off a little bit. And Falcon and Winter Soldier is pretty much just a continuation of Winter Soldier, Civil War, and Infinity War. And obviously some stuff with Endgame, but
right.
I don't care if they
didn't
anything
come
with
back
Endgame
until like the last 10 minutes anyway. So,
Well, and you know how it is. And like Endgame, if they fuck anything with Endgame, I really don't give a shit. But if they start retconning shit in Winter Soldier and Civil War, that's really going to start to annoy the hell out of me. And
I think they're going to,
spoiler alert, they already are.
I think they're going to change a lot of stuff.
They are.
Before we dive into it, Grant Ward is the guy's name.
Thank you.
Who they kept bringing back. Brett Dalton is the actor.
Oh yeah, Jake Chiseljaw.
Yeah. Which I know, like Chloe Bennett, however you say it, who plays Sky, aka Daisy, aka like she has like 4 different names. Yeah,
one
Quake,
of the Powerpuff Girls.
Which I was really hoping Quake was going to show up.
Blossom
in Endgame.
Gonna be Blossom, right?
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure because they have Dove Cameron, so I assume she'll be Bubbles, and then
she is. Yeah, I don't know which one she's.
And then
playing.
I imagine they'll probably race bend Buttercup. I got 50
I
bucks. as
didn't
they
pay
do it.
attention
That's
to
kind of
any of
fucked
it
up
until
when you think
yesterday.
about it.
Yeah. You mean the pissed off edgy one?
Well, then the fact that they're race bending and making a person of color for a character is called Buttercup.
Yeah. Well, from what you guys shared something with me yesterday that they're thinking about doing it to Professor Utonium anyway.
Oh, they already did. He's cast.
Yeah.
Oh,
Donald Faison is in the show.
Fucking Dr.
Yeah.
Turk from Scrubs.
Which I'm interested to see, but I still think that Zach Braff would have been a better choice because
so
of the
funny.
facial reactions that he does.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't hate the casting because I think Donald Faison is fucking hysterical. The problem is, though, is I'm always only going to know him as Turk. And he tends to play that character in a lot of other shows he's been in.
Yeah.
And
Not
then,
to.
and then the problem on top of it is this is going to be CW edgy shit, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's
like
what I
it's
was
going to
gonna
be
say.
like Riverdale type shit.
It is. Yep. They already said it's a gritty reboot, which.
So why the fuck are you even bothering with Donald Faison? Like I would have gotten somebody like I could think of 100 other actors.
Because this is supposed to be, it's supposed to be a lot more serious. It's supposed to be the girls are grown up now and they're mad because they feel like they were taken advantage of as kids or some shit. Basically, like the child actor type bullshit, except with superheroes.
That show's gonna get 2 seasons tops because CW doesn't know when to let something die.
For Donald Faison, what is your guys' first? Like you said, you think of Scrubs when you think of him. Is that both of you guys?
Yep.
Well, I never
remember
watched
Clueless.
Okay, Clueless is like what I go to instantly with it because he was Murray.
Or Skyline, that fucking terrible film.
Oh
Yeah,
that
I
was
forgot about
horrible. Yeah,
It was a cool premise, though. It was a cool premise.
He was also in Remember the Titans.
Yeah, he was good in that too. He was really good in that.
I apologize for the sideline.
Oh no, it's good. Yeah, because I actually wanted to address that too because Chloe Bennett going to that automatically means we're never going to see her again in the MCU.
Yeah, probably.
Which kind of sucks.
The gritty reboot makes me think her schedule
I
will
don't
be.
know. I mean, I guess not
in
in the necessary MCU, but I mean, you might see her in the animated shit. She does
Maybe. Yeah.
She does voice acting
she
for,
can do voice
for
acting.
Quake for her Quake character.
Yeah. I still just wanted to see Quake fight with Thanos because she did in the fucking comic, and I really wanted to see. I was like, you have the character set up. Why are we not doing this?
Anybody who thought any of that shit was happening, like people coming from the television show, anybody who thought that was happening was fucking delusional. Granted,
know.
To be fair, I have been burned by that once. Thank you, DCEU, with Flash. But granted, at that point, we assumed that the cinematic universe was pretty much dead.
I'm still glad that I was right about that one.
You were quite correct.
Anyways, let's get into this. So what are we doing? We're talking Winter Soldier, or no, not Winter Soldier. Holy shit! We might get into Winter Soldier.
You
but
fucking white supremacist, putting the Winter Soldier ahead of Falcon. How
we're talking
dare you?
Falcon and Winter Soldier.
There it is.
Then the first 2 episodes, because this will come out when the 3rd episode drops, just so people are aware. But the first 2 episodes is what has been released so far. As far as watching them, I watched both of them back to back. I waited until the second one dropped before I even started. I just got them both out of the way in one sitting.
There you go.
For myself.
Nothing wrong with that.
What about you guys?
Tivis, go ahead.
I watched them and they came out.
Okay.
Oh, just time by
Onesies?
time. It was funny. I didn't really want to watch it because after what they did in WandaVision, I was kind of worried that I was going to get overhyped and I wasn't going to like it. And again, me liking Civil War so much, I actually ended up just watching it less than a week ago, just because I got bored and I was like, oh, I'll just put something in.
Yeah.
Still love it, by the way. And then I was like, okay, well, this probably is going to have a lot of connections with Falcon Winter Soldier, just because it's kind of those characters almost specifically. And you can tell they're definitely shooting it in that style of like the Russo brother type stuff.
Yeah.
So I watched the first episode, and we'll talk about that and how I felt about that in about a minute. But then after that, I was like, Well, fuck it. I haven't watched Winter Soldier in quite some time. And I remember liking it for the most part, but I remember it being kind of boring. It was like a little slow burn. Still liked it. Couple of issues, but I still liked Winter Soldier pretty good. And then I just finished episode 2 this morning, and I have a lot of things to say about episode 2. So
Okay.
So interested.
Awesome. So
Interesting.
let's dive right into it then, because I did not necessarily plan on talking about this show on the podcast, but shit just worked out to where we all seen both of the first 2 episodes, so we might as well do it. I don't know if we'll talk about the entire show going forward on the podcast though. So
yeah, maybe not.
I mean, it's only 6 episodes, so you know, maybe we'll do
maybe
one
just finish it
episode
out
at
and
the
then a
end.
wrap up.
Yeah,
and then a big wrap up on it.
Yeah,
but
so.
I guess we start with episode 1. The fucking title. New World Order is the so with the whole keeping with the Build Back Betters and the New World Orders and the all that, the one
Hulk
world
Hogan's.
government stuff. Gotta love it. Bow, 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 bow. No wolf pack though.
Yeah.
Well, their logo is red. Just gonna throw that out there. They're more like the wolf pack than the NWO. So I kind of hate that it's titled that, but sure, it's the premise of the overarching storyline, it seems. Pretty much the episode just starts with a big action scene in the air.
Yeah. Basically
What'd you
what
guys
they
think?
put in the trailer is that whole intro.
About
Yeah.
him flying through the canyon gave me real Independence Day vibes.
Yes, thank you. I was saying the same thing to Nick. I was like, is that the same like cannon that they shot?
Oh, it's totally the same canyon. I was like, I almost felt like they reused shots. Like it was crazy.
Felt like it, the way they moved through some of it. I was like, is Will Smith gonna be in this shit now? Like,
bro, I was waiting for a hell nah.
welcome
I
to
gotta
Earth.
say, there's a few things from that whole section where I started to immediately get worried.
Yeah.
So
From the fight
The whole
scene?
point-
From the action scene? Okay.
yeah, from like that the whole scene, not even
Okay.
just the action, but like that whole scene. So you see like the bad guys are like taking a hostage into like Libya or something, and he can't go into airspace, so he has to try and get this done. So you have your ticking clock for the suspense. That's cool or whatever. And you start with this convoy. It's like a 3 Jeep convoy, and this Torres, I think his name's like something Torres or whatever. He's got like his handler on comms for him that's on the ground, and there's a bunch of other people in the vans and stuff with them. Keep that in mind because that'll be coming back later. So Sam jumps into the enemy plane to try and rescue these hostages. They just don't shoot at him. Like they just stare at him and just don't shoot at him forever.
Technically, when you're in the plane, you probably shouldn't be shooting anyways.
See, and I knew that was going to come, but immediately there comes a guy, instead of the 2 guys with handguns that could shoot at him, you have a dude unload a fucking automatic machine gun at him. and finally
so he
Sam
was the
starts
stupid
blocking.
one.
Yeah. Well, the whole thing was I was like, those are the kind of things where I just feel like your choreography could have been better. Like he comes in and immediately puts up his shield just in case.
Did you
But
like the way he jumps out of his plane, similar to Captain America and Winter Soldier?
Oh yeah. Does like his little like almost Assassin's Creed leap of faith, but backwards. No hay bales today.
How
though.
does his wings work? Like,
I
Who
don't
knows?
know. I give those a pass. I'm just like it's movie magic on that
are
one.
they connected to his brain or his spinal cord like a Doc Ock situation? Or
I'm assuming like it's connected to him like in that kind of way. Like he can maneuver them with his arms and shit like that. Or I really don't know. I'd imagine you. I mean, you did have the whole Iron Man suit was he could like connect it to him to like bring it to him and stuff like that.
I heard a valid complaint about the suit, but I'll get to that later.
I like.
Oh no, what is it? I'm curious.
Yeah.
Since we're on it.
All right. Well, I mean, it's a military prototype. A Falcon obviously proves it works. Why don't they have more Falcons?
That's a great point. Oh, and especially in episode, I'm going to jump one full episode here, but when they find out that they're hacking into him to figure out where he is, like GPS style. So they obviously know how to use the tech and they're really well aware of it.
Let's save that later because there's some issue I have with that part for sure. Because of something they say later on too. So but in that same episode. So let's stick with episode 1 at the for a second.
So we're still fighting in the plane and he starts getting kicked by this dude in purple and yellow. Yeah. Which, fun fact, I watched that episode, then I watched The Winter Soldier the next day. I'm like, oh, it's the same dude from the opening fight of Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Batroc the Leaper, who is an Olympian fit person. That's literally his powers. He's got good, strong leg muscles.
It's fucking hilarious.
It's GSP, brah. GSP is the man.
But there was some choreography in there that I liked because I love the fact that like he was utilizing his jet or his pack without the wings. Like that there's a thruster on the back and he used it to like drag a dude into a box and knock him out. I was like, oh, that was really clever.
Yeah, it was cool when the Rocketeer did it too.
Well, how dare you speak of a probably better film. I just thought that was cool to kind of that they're utilizing something in a different way, which was kind of cool. The fight in the plane is fine. I do have this huge problem lately and like Mandalorian dealt with it too. It's just nobody shoots at people and they like run forward at them. Like they forget that a gun is a ranged weapon. You know what I mean? It's really annoying. And it's like, well, yeah, but it's cool for them. It's like, yeah, but you can account for that shit. I mean, you're choreographing it and you're editing it. Like you can account for that stuff. Like, come on now.
Yeah.
So it feels cool, but at the same time, it feels lazy. So that's kind of my big issue with it. And that happens a few times.
For the intro, like the thing I like the most is that they actually gave him his colors. Like his suit is actually his colors. So, I didn't like that it started out with a big action scene. I don't know.
Yeah, that was a little weak, and that feels very Disney right now.
Yeah, I get it.
I appreciated it because I didn't much care for the rest of this episode.
Oh, see, and that's funny because I like it when it quiets down and it's just like character development stuff.
I like the human stuff more than the action stuff in both episodes, honestly.
Well, I think that's a byproduct of the fact that we've been with these characters for so long.
Yeah, that
we're already invested. You don't need to. Give us all this stuff. So when they actually have conversations, we're like invested already.
Yeah.
It was the banter between the two in Civil War that made me want this show. So the fact that the two never meet in this episode disappointed me.
See, and that's why I was hoping it was going to be an episode about Bucky and then an episode about Falcon. And then like the third, they'd like meet up or something.
I don't know if I could deal with that.
This,
I would have checked out.
This show moves a little too quick for me with a lot of stuff.
Again, it's a 6-episode series. It feels like it's just supposed to be is one movie. It's the Snyder cut that they just broke up into pieces.
Right. Another thing that I need people to get used to that I can't stand this because I think we're going to have this problem a lot with him flying around. Like when he jumps out of a plane, I don't know if anybody's ever gone skydiving or watched skydiving videos. It's fucking loud as shit in the air when you're falling.
Oh, that's another
They really
complaint
don't account for that at all.
Or the wind resistance on the face. They have never put that in any of their films.
They don't even bother, which I get. It could be annoying to try and CGI and be realistic with that whole thing. I get that.
Just bring in a giant fan and have him voice his lines in a booth.
But it's just, it is weird because he like talks to Red Wing and stuff. And he has to say it out loud.
Again, how is that controlled too?
Well, because he's
not
the problem
Tony Stark. No, you can't use Stark tech.
Exactly.
He's not Tony Stark. And
because I was going to say
that fucking line later on that, well, you got that Stark tech stuff. I'm like, yeah, but he's not Tony Stark. How the fuck does he? Like, this is the first time we're ever seeing him in this universe. Yeah. This is the first time we're ever seeing Sam do anything with technology.
Well, and
They've
even
never
funny.
set it up before. Like in the comics, yes, I get in the comics he did it.
Yep.
I understand that.
We did see Red Wing in Civil War.
No, you did.
Which was when he was part of the Tony Stark funded Avengers, so I assume Stark built stuff for them.
But he's fixing Stark tech then.
Oh, yeah.
And they've never established that he can even do anything, because they even said that he didn't even make his own suit, that the suit was made for him as a prototype. So
well, and that's the whole thing, is that I hate the fact that they called it Stark Tech, because he had it in Winter Soldier because he was part of a program.
Yeah.
He was part of that program that gave him that stuff. And they made it sound like they had
Stark
more
added to the tech. That's what I was assuming.
Okay, maybe.
Yeah.
But if Stark was doing that, why didn't you give me a
altered.
better suit, dude?
I was about to say, I'm like, why isn't half of it like bulletproof?
Or just why isn't it War Machine with freaking wings?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that, I think that was a misstep.
Yeah.
But it's funny because so he does.
I
the
like
big
that
old,
they are trying to show that he is smarter than what they've shown in the past, though. I do like that. At least with tech.
I definitely say that when he's having that scene with Torres, I think is his name again.
Yeah,
where
Lieutenant
they're sitting and
Torres.
he's actually fixing.
Yeah.
Like he's fixing and diddly and daddling with it. I'm like, okay, that's good, because then if anything happens,
we know he can do something.
yeah, we don't have to have him like go to a fucking garage or something every time something breaks.
Little fun fact about Lieutenant Torres, in the comics, he becomes the second Falcon.
All right.
At least I think he's the second. Might be the third.
Well,
I'm pretty sure
I
it's
guess
second.
to go back to the thing about bitching in the air and how does his Red Wing thing work? I'm like, because if it's voice automated, that's why I'm bitching about why it's loud outside. Because it can't. You're not turning Siri on when you're skydiving. It's not happening.
Well, I think, doesn't he have something over his ears though?
Well, it's not over his mouth though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but again, I can let that go. It's a bit of a nitpick.
At least he's not skydiving without goggles on. So
there we go. Right.
They covered one little section of it.
So like we know that he's good with killing people because he just straight up murks the machine gunner on the other plane. He clips him with a wire and pulls him out and then detaches it. So he's toast. Then the squirrel suit fight, I think that's all stupid. I think it's really dumb. All the bad guys jumping out in the squirrel suits.
Oh, yeah. I was like, where do they think they're going? He can literally fly. Like,
but not only that, he's got a fucking jetpack, so he can go faster.
Yeah.
They're just dropping at whatever speed they can.
Yeah.
He can go faster than that because of his jetpack.
It felt like a Mission Impossible scene, honestly.
Yeah.
I like that they did go through some tight spaces that he couldn't fit very well.
So
But
that
he
at
should
least
be
helped.
able to fit through them. We've seen him go through tighter spaces before.
Yeah.
Like his wings should just retract back, and then he could blast through and then open his wings back up when he's done.
Man,
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying. Well, it's because they make him so proficient that it makes it a little unbelievable.
Yeah.
That's the problem. It's like nerfing his power levels for the scene, which whatever. It looked cool, so shut up me. Again, in big parentheses, I got Independence Day vibes. I'm really not big on. They didn't do it in the second episode, thank God. I was getting real sick of them doing that weird GoPro like fear cam, face cam thing he was doing when he was driving or when he was flying around. I don't know how I felt about that. I've never liked that angle.
There is,
I hated it in the therapy that we'll get to later.
So in this intro scene, of course they're doing like. Did anybody else call every single shot that they were going to basically do?
Pretty much.
No, because like I could
I'm
like
not
you
that
see the
versed,
heat-seeking
so
missiles.
that
You
should
knew he
surprise
was
you.
gonna blow up the other helicopters with them. Like it was like beat for beat. Like I've seen it before.
Well, it just felt very paint by numbers. That action scene just seemed really obvious, and
I was like, oh, he's gonna. I told Nikki as soon as the one helicopter took off again with the other guy, I was like, oh, I bet you he's gonna blast through, grab the guy, and then the helicopter's gonna blow up. And that's exactly what fucking happened. I was like, I'm tired of being right about this stuff, guys. Can we do something different?
I
don't want to know what's going to happen.
So he completes the mission, gets the guy.
Yeah.
Planes are exploded. And then my favorite thing is we cut down to Torres. The convoy has disappeared. There's only one Jeep and he's the only guy in the car. Everyone disappeared. And it's like a CGI him like going, woo, throwing his fist up in the air, celebrating. I go, where did everybody go? I even had to rewind it just to make sure it wasn't just him. Yeah, it was a 3-car convoy with multiple people.
He pulls up over somewhere else. He goes off road.
I don't think so.
Yeah,
it just cuts back to him.
Yeah, because he's like, oh, he's not gonna make it, so he drives off somewhere else.
Why would it just be him? Where would the other two go?
Don't ask me, bro.
I just thought it was silly. I don't think you needed it, and the fact that you had to CGI the guy like dancing on the car, I just thought it was silly. I was like, you really didn't need that.
Yeah.
It was a fucking waste of time. But then you cut to Sam about to make this speech, essentially just saying he's about to give up the shield. We get
the flag smashers and fixing Red Wing first.
Was that first?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we get the setup with the augmented reality thing then with the handprints.
I thought it was a neat little inclusion.
Yeah, I thought that was cool. And again, we get the scene so he's checking out the tech and the joke about the moon-based stuff. I thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah, you know who else had those like the symbols hidden everywhere too? They did that in Blade.
Oh, with the stupid tattoos on their neck too?
No, not the tattoos. Like in Blade 2, they marked their buildings and you use infrared to see where they were at.
That's how you figure out who's part of which house.
Yeah, that too.
See? Suck it. I know my Blade lore.
Well, the movies anyways.
Yeah, true.
I'm curious about the flag smashers though, because there's
such a lame name though. Come on,
there's
dude.
a character by that name in the comics.
Oh, okay.
But it's not a group, so I'm curious where this is gonna go.
Can I say it's still a lame name? Flag smasher. I just think it's funny. But I like the Torres character. He seems cool enough. I like them kind of giving him another person to kind of bounce stuff off of. I
want to know why in it's kind of hard to say. It's a post-apocalyptic, but then I don't understand their world. Okay.
Yeah, I get it. How it all went back to normal so quick.
It all went back to normal. Like, I get this is like supposed to be like 5 months after everything went back to normal. Or some
sure, but you can blame fucking normal. Far From Home. So you can blame Far From Home for that shit.
We're in COVID times, and everyone keeps saying it's going to be the new normal. Why are they not utilizing that in this world, like the new normal after the fucking blip? God damn, I hate that word.
Don't you hate that it's called that? Yes. I fucking hate it.
The snap, really guys. It's called the snap. But why don't they utilize that? Play on to that, and then not only that, it's like okay. He's not allowed to, in the opening scene, they're like, oh, you can't fly into the airspace. I'm like, we just had an alien invasion and you're trying to say one country can't go into your airspace to stop a criminal? We don't know what this criminal is capable of.
Well, also, like, this is something that fucking WandaVision barely...
All of it should be gone. I'm just saying. The whole world should be different.
Well, also, what happened to the Sokovia Accords? Are we just not going to talk about those? Are those just dead?
I don't know.
Like, it fucking blows my mind how much they just don't talk about them. And it was like the driving force. It's essentially why the Avengers lost. It's because they had to split up and all that shit because of it. It's really fucking silly. But I don't know. That scene is fine. Nice little connective scene to go to the press conference where we get Rhodey. So that's cool.
Yeah. I just wish she was there to do more than just tell us that, the world is scrambling to put itself back together.
Well, and to have essentially, and I hate to do this. This is going to come up a few times, so please, audience, don't hate me. But it's surrounding this show. To have more black guy dialogue, like this whole they have the whole brother my brother type stuff, and that's why
stereotyping. John.
Yeah,
Stereotyping.
Essentially.
Like,
Well, because you see a lot.
There's no such thing as like talking like a color. It's a stereotype. It's a fucking stereotype.
Well, you know what I mean. That's culture dialogue, and the only reason why but really the only thing is that you see a lot of it in the second episode. But it's funny just because they go through the museum.
Their dialogue.
It's just I was just talking about. I just love the fact that it's like I'd have to like rewatch exactly, but
like was it character accurate at least for Rhodes? From what we've seen,
I think so.
Okay.
I think so.
Okay.
I just think it's funny. I just think it's funny that we end with my brother, because it's not like he would talk to Tony like that. You know what I'm saying? I just think it's funny. Because again, you see a little bit of the stereotype stuff, like in episode 2, like there's like a little thing with the cops, like is this guy bothering you type stuff
about it. Yeah.
But yeah. But again, the only reason why I bring it up is because everything seems to be fucking viewed in a prism of race lately. So it's a little annoying when you kind of see them start pushing in that direction. This is definitely not egregious, so it's not even worth like being on it. But I know that whole thing, because I've had discussions with this on podcasts about who should have gotten the shield in the first place.
So here's why the dialogue might sound weird to you too. On this episode, at least, there are 0 black writers.
Oh, well, that
wait,
probably.
Wait. This I can't tell if he is or not. No, he doesn't. He's not.
Well, I guess the one thing I really like before they go,
Malcolm Spellman wrote this episode.
Who?
Malcolm Spellman.
Is he black?
I don't know.
He looks really white. Maybe he's just really light skinned.
Wow. There you go.
I don't know.
Sorry I even brought it up.
Female director too for this episode too. So awesome.
Oh, well, there you go. Directing's pretty good. So you find out with the press conference that he's giving up the shield because he obviously doesn't believe that he deserves it, which I refuse to believe that there isn't a bit of a meta commentary about that. Because a lot of people, myself included, I think Bucky should have gotten it. I think it just makes more narrative sense. That's just me. But something I do like, well, I guess I'll explain myself because then people will just be pissed off. I think the fact that the Winter Soldier is seen as still like this bad thing in the eyes of the world, even though he got his pardon and all that, he has to try
therapy.
Yeah, I'd love that. He needs to try and redeem himself in the eyes of the people. So imagine he takes up the mantle as Captain America and nobody knows who he is. They don't know that it's Bucky.
Right.
And then after a while, he starts saving all these people, and then eventually he gets unmasked. Then the world has to try and learn how to deal with the fact that he's a hero now.
I don't know.
That kind of thing.
I don't know. I mean,
and he's a super soldier, so it makes a little bit more sense.
He is a super soldier. It makes sense to do that first.
And Falcon is already Falcon, so
I don't get why Bucky has to make amends for everything and be pardoned and shit, because Falcon was also an enemy of the state as well.
Yeah, but Bucky was an assassin for years.
Yeah, for many, many years over the course of decades, and it's something
he was also
that
brainwashed. He had no control over that.
But not everybody would know that.
But the government does.
That's why
the government does, but it's talking about PR. So I'm talking about public persona.
Like, because they don't know he's going. Like, they show the one scene of him making amends to this one girl, but then like the cops fucking show up and arrest him. Like, I don't understand what that was about. Like,
no. He was making amends because she's an agent of Hydra who he put in power.
That's what I was trying to figure out, because that was not very well.
No.
Into that scene, like I was like, so he's apologizing.
I was bored and I was paying attention
too.
During this.
What's that?
I said I was bored and I was paying more attention.
Shit. I do like when he decides to give back the shield. He turns away from the podium and the picture of Cap, the big banner that he has, it's on his left.
Yeah.
I think that's a nice little little callback that they've been doing, because that's a big thing. And after watching Winter Soldier and Civil War, they always do block them like that.
Wait,
I've noticed.
I missed what you said.
They always put each other on the left. I always think that's really interesting. Even in Winter Soldier and Civil War, they were really, really good about doing that. Like the scene when they're talking about the Sokovia Accords in Civil War, and Steve's sitting in a chair and they're explaining it. Falcon's standing on his left and Rhodey's on his right.
On your left.
They do shit like that all the time. So having the banner behind him, I just thought that was a really nice attention to detail. I just like when they do shit like that. And then they're walking through the what do you call it? The museum, I guess, or the exhibit for Cap. They got rid of the Howling Commandos. I'm kind of sad. I remember that in Winter Soldier when I watched it. They had the Howling Commandos with him.
They very well could have expanded it so Steve has his own section.
Maybe.
It would have been nice to see.
Yeah.
Also, you have pictures of Bucky up in there, and then people on the streets don't even know who the fuck he is. Like, really?
Yeah.
I was gonna say they could have the descendant guy from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. show up, but I'm pretty sure he died in season 3. Didn't he get turned to stone with the crystal?
The Terrigen? Yeah, but I mean, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. clearly isn't canon to the MCU anymore.
Yeah, at least certainly not directly.
Bullshit. But anyway, I did like in the therapy, Bucky mentions his sister, who is only had 4 appearances in the comics.
Oh, wow.
So she is a very rare one.
Gotcha.
To be mentioned. And there's actually an alternate Earth where Captain America's partner is her.
If you guys do like the direction, the directing, I should say, of these 2 episodes, is going to be the same director for all the episodes. It's what's her name? Blanking out now.
Carrie
Skoglund. Yeah.
Skoglund?
Yep. And it does look like Malcolm Spellman is writing on all of them, and apparently he is black. He looks whiter than me though.
Oh, okay. That was the line. It's a New Day brother.
That's New Day brother. Okay. I mean,
it was just it caught me off guard just because I'm not used to hearing Rhodey speak like that.
Gotcha.
That's why it was different to me.
See, when you said it, it translated the Hulk Hogan in my head.
Well, it is the New World Order, dude.
There you go.
Well, I guess before you started talking about the therapy, I forget we have a flashback or a dream or a memory or whatever.
Fucking hell.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry, but I mean, the Star Spangled Man is the second episode.
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan was wasn't he the Star Spangled Man, or was that American Hero or some shit when he dressed up
Hero.
in the?
I think it was American Hero.
Yeah,
I'm not sure. That'd be funny.
Not, if he was Star Spangled,
that'd be fucking
ass off.
That'd be funny. Too many Hulk Hogan references.
All right. Anyways,
well, we have this. Apparently, we watch Winter Soldier have a mission, and he kills.
It's Real American. Sorry.
And this time, I'm not being racist because this is actually relevant. He kills this Asian scientist or Asian
intern,
guy,
I think he was.
Some kind of intern who just happened to see him fighting. And so Winter Soldier can't have loose ends, so he killed him. And then he wakes up from the dream and flashes into his therapy sessions. So since the innocent guy dies, I knew it wasn't going to be subtle. I knew that was going to be something special about the episode. I could just feel it.
Yeah. And
then they really hit you home. Now, I want to talk about it now just because I'm thinking about it.
Okay.
I got to ask him and the old Asian guy, I can't remember his name.
I got it for you here in a second.
But my issue is I go, he's totally going to be related to that guy. I could just feel it. But then based on the way that they were like giving their dialogue and stuff, it didn't seem like he knew.
Yori Nakajima.
Okay. So
it didn't seem like
he seemed guilty, but not because like directly. It didn't feel like Bucky actually directly knew it was his son until he went up and saw the shrine.
He did.
Yeah, he knew.
Because he was
knew?
going to go and tell him, but then he saw the shrine and thought, well, yeah,
Maybe
I'm not
not.
doing that fucking shit. Because his second
just
rule is
don't
to
tell
not
him.
hurt anybody.
Oh, I like that. Okay.
So
I didn't even
agree.
interpret it like that, but
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah.
Don't tell him. Just be a good friend.
Yeah.
because you're supposed to make him, because that's why he's also number one on his list too. That guy is number one on Bucky's list because it's the hardest one to make amends to. Because in telling him or letting him know, you would also be hurting him, which breaks rule number 2 as well.
I like that. I like that. I didn't even think about that. That's a really good interpretation of that. I like that. I also did say, like, right off the bat, I remember texting you guys. I go, oh, so Bucky's the Arrow.
Yeah, he looks a lot like I didn't get the reference.
Well, I meant with the list.
Then,
with the list,
but yeah. Well, I mean, his outfit even, like the tight, the leather shit
tight
or whatever,
tight leather shit
that he ends up ripping the sleeve off of later in the second episode.
Someone did get the list. There's a lot of hidden names, and some that are meaningless. H Zemo is on there, and also JWEA, and the rest is you can't read.
But what is he gonna make amends to with Zemo? Zemo's arrested. Like,
I think it's more of a revenge list than an amends list.
Yeah,
some of them
could be a little bit of both.
That one, the Hydra Congresswoman who he puts in jail, he called amends, but it was more, I'm gonna put this right.
Right. But I mean, Zemo is already in jail, so it didn't matter.
Yeah.
It could just be I want to punch him in the face.
Yeah. Or stay away from this fucking guy. Like,
just because I kind of like some of the stuff they're doing, and they seem to have a pretty decent attention to detail. I did like the fact that in his therapy session, the wallpaper behind him was the woods. Mm-hmm. So like it was kind of like he was like lost in the woods or trying to get out.
Oh, yeah, the
I was
attention
like,
to detail in here is awesome. Like, I mean, well, Wanda was attention to detail within the sets, anyways, was really good too. So
yeah, they designed
I don't
that
expect
fucking
anything
set
less.
to be old school.
if I'm looking at a scene and I'm not seeing like something in there, I'm like, what's going on? Who did this set today? And was this a reshoot?
I did like when she took his phone. There's like 4 people.
Yeah.
I like a lot of the little like character interaction stuff that he does with Yuri and all that.
Can we go back for a sec, real quick?
Sure.
To them giving the shield away.
Mm-hmm.
My biggest thing was Captain America's not dead. He's just old.
But not many people know that.
Yeah.
But I don't give a fuck. He should be the one that's doing something with the like, I understand he already gave it to Falcon. Like, I get that. On a fucking bench. But like, he should show up. He should show up sometime because yes, he is old, but he still is Captain America. He's still Steve Rogers.
Well, you still need somebody to go out and take the mantle, though.
I understand that, but he should be there to say, okay, I want to place the mantle on this person. Something like that.
Yeah, it just depends on what they want to do with. He might not want to be in the spotlight anymore.
Well, as a PR stunt, though, people are going to gravitate more towards whoever Steve Rogers picks than the U.S. government. Like, we've seen it in real life. Like,
who knows? Maybe that's going to be one of the solutions to this at the end.
Maybe.
Could be. I will say, just in case for anybody watching video, the reason why I'm looking down is I have the episode playing in front of me.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Oh, I thought you had a whiteboard because you had a.
I also do have notes,
marker.
but I'm marking off my talking points. But I'm playing the episode just to try and keep some stuff straight. I like the shrink being military. I think that's cool.
Christina Rayner.
Yeah, I think that's interesting. So she can actually talk to them on a certain level and like when she can help him out in certain ways down the road, it'll make a little more sense. Like she has pull within the government, which is kind of cool. Oh yeah, I was gonna say all the stuff with the sushi shop chick and him having the date. I thought that was all pretty cute. I love how they play with the fact that he's old.
Yeah,
they use the joke like, I'm like 100 and whatever. I think that's all fun. Then let's see. Then we get introduced to Sam's family.
Who his sister has only appeared in 10 comics. So again, nice little inclusion. It was pretty much, she was invented as kind of a way to reference Uncle Sam.
I love it.
Cute.
Uncle Sam out there being Uncle Sam. Yeah. I like that.
I actually liked all the stuff with with his sister. I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
Well, they got all the like fishing boat stuff. It just humanizes him a little bit more, gives him a little something extra to do. This was one of the things why I kept talking about it. The scene when they're trying to get the loan.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna say it was a little stereotypical.
Why? What did you take from it? Because I took probably something completely different.
Because they started to get mad, and it was the whole, black people can't get loans kind of shit.
Are you sure about that? Because I was also taking it as a possible.
I'm never going to be 100% sure, because they also covered up really well. With then like he's like, oh, it's no, it's not like that. It's because, and then he talks about the blip and how people have come back, and so now there's. So it was like
having recently dealt with these kind of people, they will find any excuse to not give you any amount of money.
Well, I would say, but I'm watching it from the way that they're setting up the conversation. You can see the tension, and you can see the sister, the kind of look and the attitude she starts to give him, until he then has to, he backs up and goes, whoa, it's not like that.
Right.
And then he talks about the blip. So I feel like they were leading into that.
And I think it's a really good way to incorporate like how we treat our veterans as well. Like someone can go overseas and fight for our fucking country, almost give a limb or something even, or lose their best friends and come back, and they still get screwed over by the same system that all of us get screwed over by.
Yeah.
So
you can take it in multiple ways.
But I think that they did a very good job of not making it about the race stuff. Like, because I mean, if like I saw someone try and say that the banker was like a racist guy. I was like, no, because what? Like,
no, see that, and that's why I'm saying, like, I feel like they were trying to just play it for that moment,
right?
But because even like the way he reacts to, and then they actually had a specific reason for it. So like I said, I don't think you're going to be able to get away with it.
I actually really enjoyed like that scene, because it does show you, one, not necessarily just like the how the banks work, but it's like, he's been gone for 5 years. A bank really would be like that. Well, you don't have no income for 5 years. Like,
well, not only that,
even though the world's been completely changed.
Well, and exponentially, 50% of the population coming back, there's going to be a majority that are all going to need some financially.
Not everyone's getting a job instantly. There aren't enough jobs at this time.
What happens to your bank account after you pass? Do the bank just claim the money? Because I mean, all these people disappeared. They didn't know they were coming back.
They would probably give it out to next of kin.
It goes to next of kin. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then they just foreclose on everything else.
Because I didn't know. I've never known how that works. But one thing I got from this is
if you have a will or not.
That is also true.
Because
it goes to the state. If you don't have a will, you don't. It goes to the state.
Okay,
unless they can.
So
find
a lot of
next
people
of kin.
probably lost their money.
I think,
but with it too, like imagine like all these rich ass people whose money just like if in their wills it's like $5 billion goes to charity. They have no money now.
They come back and they have nothing. Fuck. Didn't even think about that. That's interesting.
The one thing I took away from the scene is we found out, the financial situation of the Avengers. Seems like Tony Stark paid for the land and the food and nothing else.
Yeah, they were doing it on Goodwill and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of like answers that question, like how do Avengers get, like how do superheroes get money? Because when you watch like a show like The Boys, you see it's like marketing. It's a whole agency. They're basically employed and have managers who get a cut and all that shit too. But with
which I could see after
you're
the
seeing what?
Well, I was gonna after the Accords, the official team probably did get paid because they were on military contracts.
I would think they would be kind of like freelance, basically, like the Expendables or some shit. They're getting paid per whatever they go and do, unless you destroy a shitload of stuff and we have to pay for it, and it comes out of your pocket and stuff like that.
That makes sense,
because not everybody is Tony Stark. They don't have the giant industry to back them, if money goes tight or anything like that. So yeah, it's interesting to see what can be. And then you see, of course, Bucky is living in an apartment with nothing. He has like a table and a lamp, and it's supposed to be that the government is like they're paying for him to live there because he's not working either. So you have to have some, at least Falcon is working. He's on payroll and shit like that.
Yeah.
In some capacity right now. But Winter Soldier or Bucky, he's not employed at all. The government's basically housing him until shit gets good for him and shit like that. So I don't know.
See, I kind of took that as that's how he wants it. He's got a minimalistic
Secluded
lifestyle because he's been on the move forever.
Yeah, well, I think the therapist or something, they throw out a line that he is he's getting like a per diem basically from the government to live off of. So yeah.
I'm curious. Do you guys think there's
welfare.
a significant? Yeah, there you go. Oh, flipping the stereotype. No, but I like all the stuff with Sam and his family. I think it's kind of fun. The kids are actually pretty good actors. I think that all worked out pretty well.
I would have liked more of that. I would have liked the whole episode.
I think we'll get more.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know actually.
I don't know,
we'll see. With only 6 episodes,
they're getting into the action now more.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Into the espionage.
We might see more of it at the end.
Do you think there's a significance to them, him and the hottie sushi chick that they're playing Battleship?
What do you mean?
Well, during their little date night, they were playing Battleship. You think there's any significance to that?
Product placement.
Yeah, maybe. They're like, remember that movie we made based on this 1,000 years ago?
I was thinking about that too, and I'm like, I don't know any connection I can make besides it's just a really old game.
Well, I imagine strategic military too. What's a board game that's got military connotation to it, I suppose? Yeah, probably reading too much. I was just curious. I was just kind of curious. I just like Battleship of all things. What are the odds?
Or they wanted to see an Asian and American fight in the ocean on battleships, and
it's Pearl Harbor all over again.
It first became publicized in 1967. Oh no, it was first in World War I, but the game came out from Milton Bradley in 1967. So I don't know any significance about that.
Yeah, Bucky wouldn't have even had that game that I can think of.
So now we have the bad guys. So they have a scene with Sam and the sister again, but it's just about talking about how they're making dinners.
I did like how we talked about him fixing Red Wing, but then we see at the end him trying to fix the boat and he can't. I think that was the only reason they put the Red Wing thing in there.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Different tech.
Yeah, right. Yeah, just because you know how to, build a house doesn't mean you know how to fix a car. Kind of
computer.
Yeah, that's true.
You can fix a computer, but you can't do a car. Yeah.
There you go. Which nowadays we're getting pretty close to them being about
the same fucking thing. Thanks, Tesla.
So then
Switzerland.
Yeah, so then we're with Sam, or what's his name? Dude, something Torres. I don't know his first name.
Lieutenant Torres.
Okay, so we're with Louis T, and I guess there's the New World Order people or flag smashers, the Red Hand of Saruman, they're having like a big rally thing to steal
Hey, I
stuff.
get that joke.
I think they're trying to steal money. Now we find out that there's some superhumans floating around.
There's
we don't
so
find
many
out right
freaking super
away.
soldiers.
Well, when he kicks his ass,
Yeah.
I
I think it's pretty heavily. I think it's pretty heavily. Well, there's a difference between being like, "Oh, he kicked me and I fell down," and getting kicked 10 feet into a street
Which
lamp.
we don't see his face.
He just like knocked his ass across the street.
Sure.
We don't see his name, but in the credits, he's listed as Dovich, which has no significance to me, but they changed Nuke's name in Jessica Jones, so that could be the Flag Smasher.
Oh, well, all right then.
Okay.
I don't know.
This scene, it just reminded me of so many other things, but it was whatever. It was all right. I don't know. I had no quarrels with it, so
Yeah, it was just a setup,
yeah.
just to set up our bad guys and that they're a bigger threat than normal.
I was really hoping that they didn't kill the guy because the way he kicked him on the temple like that should have fucking killed him.
I thought it was gonna kill him too.
He's a superhuman. That should have
That's what I'm
squished
saying.
his fucking skull or something.
I assumed he was dead, and how we were gonna find out about it was through his video camera.
Yeah.
through his feed. That's what I thought was gonna happen. So apparently
Somebody
they just
grabbed
didn't
the
want to kill
camera
him
and
off.
put it on YouTube or something.
Yeah, I guess they just didn't feel like killing him. I guess. So now the final scene, adding our new Captain America.
Which they bring back WHIH, which is the internet campaign leading up to Ant-Man and Civil War. Little short video news clips.
Oh, 1 second.
Oh, he's got a customer. Yeah, so we're at which part now?
At the end with the news conference.
News conference, and well, first he sees the he gets the video from his buddy, right? Or is that the second episode? That's second episode.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we get the news conference, and it's Kurt Russell's kid, right?
Yeah. What's his name?
He's got like the
Wyatt Russell.
Wyatt Russell, yes. So yeah, we're looking at Kurt Russell's son's punchable fucking face.
So that's who it is. We're in the final scene with the new Captain America with the punchable face.
And
Wyatt Russell.
You know, I the mask looks stupid on him.
Excuse me.
But I really hope that they purposefully did that.
Does that look bad?
I really hope they purposely cast him for this specific role because he does have like a very like if you've ever seen him in anything, he always looks like the douchey character, I guess, or the frat boy.
You don't want to like him,
right?
I'm
like you're gonna
probably
get raped by him if you go on a date or something.
Jesus.
Wow. Jeez, well, that's really going to make it weird. The meme I'm about to tell you about, which I really hope you put on in the video.
Well, I'm not
everybody
talking wait, let me clear up. Not the actor, the characters he's played in the past. Let's say that.
Right, fair enough.
So people
He looks
like,
so much better in the poster.
Well, so they have him in the helmet. He's looking down, and they're shooting at a slightly upward angle.
Yes.
It is not flattering for him.
No.
Because one of the funniest things I've seen is somebody fucking Photoshopped the Captain America helmet onto the old dude from Up.
Yeah.
And he 100% looks like the old dude from Up.
yeah. It's all about angle, dude. Like a lot of people don't get that. Tivis just sent us a picture, and I'll try and pop that here in the video. But
It's the poster.
That's a lot better of an image of him because of the angle. He still has a punchable fucking face, but
I thought it was Tobey Maguire at first.
Oh my goodness.
Gosh, no. I remember the first thing I saw him in, and like I always think about it was 21 Jump Street, the first one. He's one of the kids that they suspect is the drug dealer, but he's not. Spoilers. Shit.
But yeah, way to fucking spoil like a 10-year-old movie.
Hey.
Just don't tell me the ending to Brick.
But no, it's the costume doesn't look terrible. You can tell they changed up the symbol.
Yeah.
But he looks like a fucking doofus. I'm sorry. And that's essentially the image that we end on for the most part. And it's fucking laughable. It's really funny. So I hope that was intentional. But fucking hell, dude, it looked bad. It looked pretty bad.
Isn't he supposed to be the Patriot whatever?
U.S. agent.
U.S. agent, yes. There's so many of them now. He's supposed to be U.S. agent, so I don't like that they gave him the moniker of Captain America already. Like, why not let that rest in, you know?
Well, that pretty much leads us right into episode 2 then. Because pretty much I guess just for the sake of it, what do we think of the first episode? Because I literally wrote down, I don't know. Nah. That's what I wrote down on my notes.
I didn't get excited until the literal last scene in the episode. And I'm like, okay, let's see where this goes.
Yeah, it's kind of what I was like. I was like, it just felt like your basic paint by numbers show.
Yeah.
With a couple of characters that I like that added a couple of things, but since neither of them, the two main guys I wanted to see didn't interact, I'm just kind of like, okay, still waiting for something else.
You keep saying that, and it's making a song pop in my head.
All the human shit, all the human elements in it. I loved it all. And then I liked the flashback with Bucky because I was like, oh fuck. Like, I honestly thought it was like happening in real time, and he was like going and killing more.
Yeah, that's what I thought I was doing.
Agents.
Yeah.
No, I just liked. I don't know. I liked his little flashback. It was nice to see him kick ass, just kind of show how good he actually is.
Yeah.
Put
the fucking mask back on, dude.
Right. Like I said though, I'm just kind of meh on it. But then I guess it leads us straight into episode 2, which
I want to talk about. Okay. I feel like I'm gonna sneeze, but then it went away. I hate that.
Do it.
I hate it. There's been quite a number of Captain Americas over the years, and majority of them went insane because they can't get the fucking serum right.
That serum.
I mean, we got Nuke, which is Captain America adjacent in Jessica Jones.
Yeah.
And, you know.
Well, I mean, Hulk is basically they were trying to create the superhero or super whatever.
In this universe, yeah. Which, you know, like I said, there's been a ton of them, failed experiments trying to replicate. So it makes sense that the Hulk would be one as well.
Yeah.
Well, I guess just to get rolling into episode 2, we open up with our new Captain America, JW, in a football locker room, getting ready to unveil the fact that he's Captain America, and we get to figure out he's like, oh, I don't know if I'm ready. Just real basic bitch stuff.
Fuck them. Then they introduce fuck them.
And then they introduce his friend, his sidekick. Was it Lamar Hoskins?
Falcon 2.0, or was it half?
Yes, Lamar Hoskins.
Yeah, which I couldn't help but notice. But isn't I'm trying to remember, wasn't there a sidekick, Star Lad or something? I can't remember. That Cap had. I can't remember. I swore there was a run with Captain America had a like teenager sidekick.
Yeah, but that was Bucky.
There was that one, but then there was like a code name. Because I know you said something about the Patriot, but there was another
If you're
one.
talking about the Patriot, we actually see that character later on in this episode.
Okay. Maybe that's what I'm thinking about.
The Young Avenger. Another Young Avenger.
The guy, Lamar Hoskins, who we later find out is AKA Battlestar.
Oh my God, what a super gay name.
Is it just me, or does he seem embarrassed by that?
He
when
should
he says
be.
It?
I would be.
I don't know.
But I guess, So I guess this dude's name is John Walker, which all I could think was, man, their scotch is overpriced. Johnny Walker, for anybody who's
They actually don't have his name
lush.
on IMDb. The character name.
What?
They just
Battlestar?
call him Wyatt Russell. They just call him Captain America. They don't have his like actual name on there.
Yeah, his name's John Walker.
That's kind of fucked up.
Maybe it just hasn't updated because they didn't say it until episode 2.
Anthony Mackie's just called Falcon too. They don't even call him Sam on there.
There you go. Does this guy have a lisp? I noticed it a lot further into the episode, but this guy sounds like he has a speech impediment.
John.
And like,
no, he just has a punchable face.
he really does have a punchable face. I really don't like him. And it gets worse when, so the way that they decide to roll him out is at his old high school.
Yeah.
With a big old marching band. Can't help but notice the marching band. And
Playing the Star Spangled
which
Man.
makes sense. Like, okay, so
which was cool. I loved that iteration, by the way, of the Star Spangled Man with a plan. I thought that was really cool, and it was a nice little callback.
It's interesting because the government did with the first Captain America. He was just a big PR stunt. That's all he was supposed to be. Except the fact that he actually, was a superhuman. And
which
this guy's
may
not
or may not be
superhuman
that we know of yet, because
he said he wasn't.
He threw that shield and caught his fucking forearm. Should have been broken with that force if he was not
don't worry,
superhuman.
Don't get me started.
Fucking tell me he doesn't have something in him.
We're gonna get there.
Ugh. Dude, if we find out at the end of this episode that Captain America, old Cap, is somewhere on a table dissected like Vision.
Oh, that's not happening. Get out of here.
No, that's not happening.
If anything, I would say they probably got a hold of one of those super soldiers from Civil War that Zemo fucking ganked.
Well,
there's 5 of them. Don't forget.
Well, I'll get into that after we talk about this whole thing.
Did you like him and his girlfriend's stupid little pinky finger lock and then they kiss their own hands? That was pretty stupid.
And no, John, you're wrong. They actually kind of somewhat explain where the superhero syndrome is, or syndrome.
Syndrome
comes from somewhat. Loosely.
Well, them.
So we'll
makes sense in this universe, actually.
So he comes out. It's a big PR stunt so he can have an interview.
Yeah.
Now this is that fucking bullshit.
Good Morning
that
America.
I've been talking about in movies lately that I fucking cannot stand is he's having an interview and they're just showing a montage and he's answering questions of why he deserves to be the new captain. We don't actually see him. Like, why couldn't we have a scene where we watched him be Captain America or do something without the Captain America stuff to prove that he deserved it before having this scene?
Because you're only supposed to somewhat like him. He's going to be an asshole by the end of the episode.
Yeah.
But I get that. But it makes Steve not seem special anymore. That's what's pissing me off about this whole thing is you see him hitting these really like targets from far away, catching the shield, but he doesn't have super soldier serum that we know of, quote unquote. But this is also coming off of seeing commercials and stuff where Sam's doing it. So the whole like him like hitting multiple targets and then catching the shield, you would hope that was something kind of more akin to like Steve was just good at it because he'd been with the shield for so long. He'd gotten used to it. No, this is horseshit. And it really devalues and really fucks with Steve Rogers as a character. And I don't like it. It really annoys the shit out of me. It really, really does.
That's fair.
He's just having a fucking little interview and he just gets to be him. And he just looks like such a twat.
Yeah.
I can't stand it. I really can't stand it. It would be the equivalent if we saw somebody just flying around in Tony's suit all of a sudden.
Which we'll get there.
Like when Pepper Potts just shows up in the rescue suit all of a sudden. It's like
just
immaculate.
grabs his fucking suit.
She also wore it in Iron Man 3, but he put it on her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was controlled.
For like 2 seconds.
So I would assume that the rescue suit.
And that wasn't her
she's
flying
had
around
time,
doing all cool shit. It was putting her in it so she doesn't get crushed to death by the building.
and to get her out.
So yeah, Mr. John Walker. They just tell us all his accolades. We get to see him. Oh my god, he looks like Bo Burnham. That's fucking hilarious.
So, all right,
sorry.
so let's get through this scene. Stupid intro, high school, whatever. Then we go back to
The marching band was good though.
Yeah,
I like the song.
I
have to
felt a
praise
little
it.
Top Gunny to me in the locker room, but okay.
Yeah, a little bit.
So then we go to is it Falcon? We go back to Falcon when his buddy calls him up.
Yeah, him and Lieutenant
Yeah,
Torres.
he's talking to Torres. He sees the Cap is back posters. Obviously, he's pissed
Bucky's
off.
there.
So they're gonna go to Munich because they have a lead on these flag smasher guys, and Bucky shows up because Bucky's pissed off,
That he gave the
rightfully so. Well, not only that he gave up the shield, because I'm sure he was already pissed off because of that in the first place, but now to see somebody else calling himself Captain America on TV.
Yeah.
While
And this
using the
is
shield and
where
stuff.
I am fully invested because the banter begins immediately.
Oh man, immediately I love this scene. I love their back and forth. Let's see. Doesn't feel special anymore. Got rid of that. The androids, the big three. I love that.
Yeah.
Falcon
Androids,
brings
aliens,
up-
or wizards.
It's the big three: androids, aliens, or wizards.
Wizards
And
don't
then,
exist.
I think that's really hilarious. And then again, the fun part of having these characters be established over the course of so many movies that they have these personalities, they gotta be pretty easy to write for. Because I love the joke. Well, it's like, what? So you're gonna go fight Gandalf now? And he's like, wait, how do you know about Gandalf? He's like, I read The Hobbit when it came out in 1937. I was like, oh my God, dude, what a good joke. Like they utilize the fact that he's old, and you actually learned something. You learned that The Hobbit came out in 1937.
Also, I
As
like
one
that
book.
because a lot of people don't realize how old like The Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings books actually are.
Or that The Hobbit was probably even a book.
Yeah.
In this day and
They
age.
were originally released as one book before they split.
The Hobbit
That
was
makes
one
sense.
book. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Lord of the Rings in general.
I loved their back and forth. I thought that was really good. But I do love the fact that they have the big problem with the back and forth of Falcon not believing that he deserved to carry the shield, while Bucky's pissed off that he got rid of it. And then that comes to a toe later about the
Yeah.
motivations. And I think that's interesting.
So then they go overseas on a mission because Bucky's just going to tag along now.
Yeah, that just kind of happens. You know,
I
no
mean,
protocol or
what's
anything. He
Sam
just-
gonna do? Stop the super soldier from getting on the fucking plane? No.
Yeah.
Did they?
No. That ain't happening.
Was it implied that they purposely had the plane flying low enough so Bucky couldn't use the parachute?
Oh, is that? I don't know if it's implied, but it is funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then he just fucking yeets himself out anyway. Fucking love that.
It's
I like that they
I
kept the
got that on camera.
vibranium arm on him.
Yeah.
The black one that they got on him. That one looks pretty dope.
Which, I mean, why wouldn't you? Were you going to get a better one?
Yeah, no
Right.
kid. You fucking vibranium arm. It's like thanks to this fucking episode, we now realize that his arm's been fucked up twice now.
Yeah.
So now he's got a vibranium one, so it should be a lot better now. Which fuck me with that whole thing. But yeah, so they're just gonna pull a mission. They're going to some building with all these people stealing weapons or something. Yep. Bucky yeets himself out of a plane, hits the ground. I like the joke with Red Wing. They really want to make Red Wing a character. The little
Yeah.
robot
Toys,
Rest
baby,
in
flyer.
toys. We need that toy.
Well, I know how you go, Rip Tivis. What's the over under you think that he has it by the end of the next episode?
Oh, there's probably another one.
I would like to think that there's at least going to be like a sad moment where he has to like rebuild it. And then we get it at the end of the episode, or at least has to go an episode or two without it. I prefer he has to go an episode or two without it.
It's a nice inclusion, but it would have been cool if we saw his actual Falcon.
Yeah, I guess that is what they're trying to do, huh? Yeah, I didn't even think about that. That makes sense.
Yeah, because Red Wing is an actual bird in the books.
A falconeer. He was. So I like the back and forth. They're trying to fuck with each other. They run up on the people. I like the idea that they're clashing because Sam's actually trying to be a little bit more stealthy and
yeah,
smart
they're different
about it.
styles, and Sam's reliance on tech, whereas Bucky's just like, yeah, whatever.
Let's just do it. Let's just do it.
Yeah.
So that's neat. Trucks go away because he wants to know where they're taking all the supplies. He sees a person in the back of the truck. They assume it's a hostage. So Bucky doesn't care. He just goes right for it. I like seeing him super fast. I always like when they do shit like that, where they watch him take off running and he's just fast as hell. It's a little thing that a lot of movies aren't very good at. Like, perfect example is Wonder Woman 1984. They're just really bad at showing people be faster than normal human without being like the fucking Flash. You know what I mean? So I thought that was cool. Pops open the truck, sees crazy ginger girl.
Which I have a correction. I know I alluded earlier that the one guy was Flag Smasher. This is actual Flag Smasher. Like in the comics, it's Carl, but this girl's name is Carly. Yeah.
Oh, so gender bend. All right. I guess. I don't know. Is that like a cool? Is it? She like more maniacal? Is that Flag Smasher?
I don't know.
Or is he
I was
supposed to be a
hoping
big
she was related to Red Skull, but I'll take what I get.
Fair enough.
She was also in Solo.
Yeah. Aaron Kellyman.
Oh, well then.
And she's going to be in the new Willow show? Is that Willow?
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be a
show or a movie? No, it's a show.
I think it was going to be a show.
Fuck.
So now we have 3 superhumans fighting on top of a truck.
Yep.
I don't know how Red Wing didn't shoot her. It shot at her, but we didn't see any bullets hit anything.
We have more than 3. Every single bad guy is a superhuman.
Well, first we had the first 3 on the truck with Bucky, and then there's like 2 or 3 more on the other truck.
And the drivers. So I think there's like 8 total.
Yeah.
Yep. So Bucky's being held down.
Let me count.
You think Sam's about to get his ass kicked, and then all of a sudden, here comes the shield.
Look, if they're holding Bucky down, they should beat the fuck out of Sam easily.
No kidding. Like I'm always just one of those things where it's like, who Falcon is at this point as a bad guy. Why are you not instantly trying to just rip his jetpack off? Mm-hmm. That would be the number one thing I'd be doing. Like no matter what.
Who did that? Didn't somebody do that to him? Was it Hulk?
No, in Winter Soldier, Bucky rips off one of his wings.
That's what it was. Okay, yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then he eats shit. This fucking hurt my soul. When Cap shows up, new Cap.
Oh no, hold the fuck up. I just thought about something.
What?
Like in Civil War, wasn't Falcon the one responsible for Rhodes getting like blasted and like handicapped and shit?
Well, technically Vision, because he just dodged what would have, which would have zapped his wings off.
For a second, I was like, wait. They're brothers now, even though like he fucked him up.
Because Rhodey goes, I got a bogey on my 6, turn him into a glider.
Yeah, I gotcha.
So he wanted Vision to zap his jetpack so he couldn't chase after him anymore.
Okay. All right. Anyways, continue.
So new retarded Cap shows up with the punchable face and starts throwing the shield around, and Bucky catches it and hands it to him.
That was
I fucking died inside.
Yeah. I was like, why the fuck isn't he using?
Thank God that Sebastian Stan, at least Bucky, has a fucking facial thing, like he's pissed off that he gave it to him.
He looks annoyed.
Because Because that's exactly how I was feeling inside. I really fucking can't stand it, dude.
I hope that was a direction given, but also with the character, the actor knowing the character and shit. So I hope that was
exactly
like purposefully done.
A little bit of both.
Yeah.
Like a little bit of both. Yeah. I like it was a little bit meta too. I really want him to end up being the villain or something. Cause I really fucking can't stand it, dude. I really can't. And he's like really proficient with the shield. It really annoys the fuck out of me.
Which the government just really got the shield back. So it's like, what have you been throwing around?
How long has he been practicing with it?
Also, why haven't they just made more of the Captain America shields? They can like ask for vibranium from, Wakanda.
Yeah.
They're stingy with it.
No, they're open now. They're sharing resources and everything.
They have a whole mountain.
They even have a Starbucks.
That was good. That was funny. That shit was funny. So yeah, we're having the fight. Bucky gets his ass kicked a couple of times.
This scene doesn't make sense to me. Okay, so we go through. Bucky gets his ass kicked. Bucky ends up down on the ground or underneath the truck. Falcon zooms through and grabs him and takes him out. Okay, so then you have like fake Captain America and fake Falcon fighting on top of there. They're not super soldiers and they're fighting super soldiers and they don't have tech and they're holding their own. So then the guy gets kicked off.
Well, it nerfs Bucky and Sam.
Right.
That's what I can't stand about it.
Well, the guy gets kicked off. The other, his sidekick gets kicked off. I'm calling him his sidekick because that's what they're making him. He gets kicked off. Yeah. He throws the shield to save his buddy, which is cool. No cars around. About 20 seconds later, he gets kicked off, and there's a fucking car right there. Where the hell did that come from?
Does he check to see if the driver's okay? No.
And this is when I got.
And the cars come from? There's now cars that we can see. Why would? Okay, if you see these people fighting on this video, why are you driving so closely to this car?
Yeah, no shit. It's like,
I'm gonna catch it. People. The paparazzi.
And then then miraculously they have a Humvee or no, not a Humvee. It was a Jeep. Then they get a Jeep that just picks them up, and they're driving way on their ways. I'm like, where did that come from? Where'd their car come from? So yeah,
that car came out of fucking nowhere.
The one that he falls on, it came out of nowhere.
Yeah. He gets punched in the chest and it fucking yeets him off the back of the semi truck onto the hood of another car.
If you look, there's nothing behind that truck. Because if there was, his buddy would have gotten run over.
That's what I'm saying. That's one. But see, my biggest this is my problem, that if he doesn't have super soldier serum, fuck this show right at that moment. Because when he got hit, you see Bucky in the next scene, his face is all bruised and fucked from getting punched by these people.
Yeah.
So imagine, you saw what happened to Torres, but that barely shows power levels.
This guy getting hit
directly punched him in the chest
off the car,
flew into a moving vehicle, and no blood.
You can get
nothing. His fucking chest would be caved in. How he lands
on the car, you can do. Him getting hit in the chest, not happening from a super soldier. But there is the question of, what is his Captain America suit made out of? Is there vibranium in that or something?
Well, they don't even address it. He doesn't even look like he's ever even out of breath. Like, I'd have the wind knocked out of me just from getting punched by a normal ass person.
I have the wind knocked out of me just from
super
eating.
Soldier. Yeah, shit. I start breathing heavy and sweating when I eat a burger too fast. Like, for fuck's sake,
I'm just mad that he didn't check on the person driving the car at all.
Ugh. Oh yeah, that's another thing. Didn't even care. Didn't even bother. I don't know.
That dashboard camera footage would be on YouTube by now too.
It is Germany, so a lot of people have them. That in Russia. I totally missed earlier in the warehouse before the trucks took off. Little nod to the whole. Spend a couple of times in Wakanda and you come back as the White Panther, huh?
Yeah.
And he goes, Actually, the white wolf.
Yeah, and he's like, wait, what?
It's like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
I wish we'd do a little bit more with that, but I'll take my breadcrumbs or they'll give them to me. Why not? Oh, I literally wrote down new cap is making me mad. No, and then I go, why not kill him? Like, she punched him and kicked him off the fucking truck, but like, you could have killed him.
I do.
Why not just kill him or break his arm or something?
That I'm trying to look up her name, so I don't call her Chick.
Kelly.
Erin Kellyman. Kellyman.
That's it. I knew Kelly was in the name.
I like her.
I just read it.
How is this chestnut caved in? Yeah, got that.
Or Carly has her character's name.
Does it? It doesn't have her character's name.
Carly?
Carly Morgenthau?
Something like that. Yeah. I haven't been saying it because I'm bad with names.
Fair enough.
I don't know why they give half these characters names. They don't say them on the show anyways.
Yeah, no shit. So we have a little driving scene with the four of them in the back of the truck, just kind of talking about, kind of debriefing each other on what happened. He wants them to all team up. I just noticed that on his, because since this star, his banner isn't like in the middle of his chest for Cap, the new Cap, it's off onto his like right shoulder. Yeah. They put just like the right side of his logo on his like chest strap that holds his harness that holds the shield on his back. I just noticed that they put part of the logo on there so the logo would still look full even when he was wearing his leather straps. That makes me laugh a little bit. I go, why not just center it? But whatever.
Yeah. I don't know.
We find out that his sidekick's name is Battlestar, which everybody laughs at.
Bucky gets pissed off and gets out of the car. What are you talking about?
And then he gets out of the car and fucks off. And then he just fucks off.
His name, he's like, nah, we good. I'm out.
I gotta go.
There's a running joke that's been happening so far where Sam tells Bucky, stop staring at me. Yeah. And so they're in the car. He's just staring. Does he always do this?
It's got that.
Like, yeah, you get used to it.
He's got that angry stare. Then we get a humanizing moment where the Red Hand of Saruman gang, New World Order flag smashers, apparently just show up in this like little like underground railroad type thing where dude just gave him a nice little hiding spot for a minute. Because apparently, I think we're trying to sympathize with them right now. I think that's what the show's trying to do. Like, we don't know the full story. These could be potentially Goodmans trying to do good things.
Well, their groups, their whole why they got together is they thought the world was better when half of the population was gone. So they want to return to that.
They were Thanos sympathizers, so.
Yeah, there we go. Thanos simps.
Thanos.
So it was a cool enough scene. Kind of figure out everybody's motive for the most part in their little group, like who's in, who's out, that kind of stuff. Get a cryptic text. You took what was mine. I'm going to kill you. Makes you wonder who she's speaking to.
I have a theory, but I'll get to that afterwards.
Oh, sure. What's your theory now since we're on the scene?
Well, I want to wait till the end. So if anyone doesn't want to hear it, they can skip it.
Fair enough.
If anyone doesn't want to hear it, they can just click.
Then Bucky talks about taking the shield back. It's like, what, we're just going to run up on him like bullies and take it from him? So then he realizes they're all super soldiers. And now we're about to get a retcon. Yay! So Bucky apparently knows somebody from his past that...
Do you want me to say his name?
Is most like, sure.
Isaiah Bradley.
Is this a comic book character?
Yes, he is. He's one of the many Caps.
All right. So we didn't talk about him, I guess. Bucky never brought him up. But there's a line where I guess Bradley or Isaiah had gone after Bucky at some point, and he goes, I took off half of that arm. Seems like you grew it back. I go, God damn it. That means Bucky lost in another fight back in the day.
And the person who answers the door is Eli, his grandson, who in the comics becomes the Patriot after faking. Well, I believe he steals some of Nuke's pills to take to gain super strength, and he tells people he got a blood transfusion from his grandpa. Then he ends up actually having to have a blood transfusion because his stupidity gets him almost killed.
Good stuff. So I guess if you're a comic book fan, pretty neat to have all these.
Oh yeah,
all these references and stuff. For me, I just hate the retcon of that Bucky got his ass whooped again. Like him getting his arm blown off by Tony felt really significant, and now it feels kind of like, oh, so this is the second time that's happened. So that's neat, I guess. Scene actually seemed kind of pointless.
I'm just amazed that Bucky keeps
other than a reference.
People.
I did. Yeah, that's part of it.
This was pure fan service, definitely.
I think that's all that scene was.
Unless, we are right and they are building to the Young Avengers, which they still haven't said anything, but man, they are introducing them.
Yeah,
they sure are.
Yep.
So Isaiah's just mad. They talk about stuff. Sam gets a chance to hear it all, so now he knows that there was more soldiers. Really doesn't add to anything. I don't really see the significance
unless they utilize it later.
Yeah, unless they do a callback, this was purely a
or
fan
we're going to get
moment.
an end credit scene. The last episode is going to be Steve Rogers.
Isaiah will return in Avengers.
No, it's going to be Steve Rogers and him together. So it's just two old ass super soldiers chilling out, having shawarma.
I'd be okay with that as an after credit thing, but I have to reiterate that line because I love it just so much. If by met you mean I whooped your ass, then yeah.
So they leave the house because Isaiah kicks him out because he's all mad. Yep. And then Sam and Bucky start fighting in the middle of the street. And they're obviously in like a more like, I hate to say it, urban area, gates on the doors, things like that.
Which goes to what Myke was saying about veterans.
They're in their city. And yeah.
And then I want to talk. It goes to what Myke was saying about how veterans aren't being very well taken care of because he's in a rundown house.
Yeah. VA sucks. Well, and Isaiah brings it up too. So, but then since they're fighting in the middle of the street, cops show up.
Does happen
and starts hassling Sam. Mm-hmm. Is this guy bothering you? I gotta say, fuck you, show. Like, they would know who Sam is. They would know who fucking Bucky is. Like, I'm sorry.
They should know.
In this universe,
they should know who they are.
Cops especially would know.
They should know who they are.
Like, and you literally had a kid.
Unless they were people
bring up the fact that they knew Falcon.
Yeah.
Are you the Black Falcon? You mean Falcon?
That was a great callback.
Black kid.
I like that one.
Characters having black in their name.
I just thought, okay, I'm a little annoyed with how they're doing it with this scene, but really the whole point is to get Bucky arrested for some reason, so they had to have the therapist scene.
Which at that point, that stuff happens. I told Nick when we were watching, I was like, he doesn't have an ID on him. The cops didn't actually run his ID to see who he is. They could have just let him go. Like, yeah, I know they know who he is. But they could have been nice and just like, yeah, fuck off. You helped fight, and save the universe. So,
well, they probably called back and be like, it's Falcon and the other guy.
And people forget these guys.
You have to bring the other guy in.
They forget they helped save the fucking universe, not just Earth, not just America.
Yeah,
the fucking universe. So come on, like, fuck off with this. You need to go see your therapist shit. Like.
Well, and especially to get him arrested to do it. Like, it's like, no, you need to go or we will arrest you, like something like that. And then it's like,
no, they say that he has a warrant out because he missed his court.
Yeah, because he missed his
government
because he decided to go for a joyride with Sam.
But then I'm like, why not give Sam a ride? Because Sam ends up going to get him out anyway. So why wouldn't, like, if Sam was going to go do that in the first, why not just catch a ride?
I think Sam had a car. How did they get there?
From what it looked like they just walked there.
I feel Sam had a car there.
Well, they didn't show up in a car. They were just walking on the street.
Just parked the car. They cut that scene. Do you need everything, Zack Snyder? Jesus fuck.
There was nothing anywhere near them, though. Man, that is so not on the same level, and you know it, you terrible person. That would have been more the equivalent of like if I had to watch fucking Wonder Woman get on a plane to go get the flaming arrow.
Okay, Zach.
So then we find out that Bucky is getting released.
Yeah.
Sam's at the police station, and lo and behold, new Captain America is the one that got him out.
Well, there was that awesome scene with the therapist. There was that later.
That comes after.
That is coming up. That is coming up now.
Okay.
Since they released him and Sam is there, she said we're having a session right now, and it's not a request.
Yeah.
I'm 50-50 on this scene. I'm not sure why Sam has to be a part of this, except for the fact that I guess that they went together, and she explains it for the most part. But it's like she knows that there's supposed to be a team at some point. I think that's what it feels like.
Well, yeah. I think judging by the text she saw earlier, she knows that that's the closest thing he has to a friend.
Yeah, probably.
Again, he's not. There is an old Captain America still there. He could be hanging out with old Rogers.
The public do not know him.
I don't care about the other people. Even Bucky could be hanging out with old Rogers instead of the old Chinese dude. He could be out drinking.
I like the Chinese story.
I do like the Chinese story. I do like
too.
that. But I still feel like he's not alone. Like him and Steve could be sharing a fucking apartment, being the odd couple or some shit. I would watch that show.
I would watch that show.
I have a question for you.
I'd watch that.
You know, Cap went and lived in another timeline or whatever and came back. Do you think it's awkward now when he sees Agent 13?
Yeah. Yes. I've brought that up a million times that he essentially made out with his niece.
Well,
she's going to be in the show
his
too.
Niece.
Not technically, no.
Different universe according to the Russos and shit.
This is what I keep saying is that Endgame really kind of just pretends that Civil War doesn't exist. And it's really frustrating and I can't stand it. Same with fucking Far From Home, but the only good thing that I think comes out of this therapy scene is you finally get Bucky's perspective. On how and why he's pissed off. Yeah, I think it's wonderfully acted, wonderfully delivered. The idea that you gave up on the shield and he's like, you know, Sam's just kind of like, you don't get it. I thought I was doing the right thing, which sure, I understand that for the most part, but I don't think anybody's really on his side with that for the most part. But then you get Bucky's side where he's like, he believed in you. That's why he gave it to you. And if he was wrong about you, he could be wrong about me. And I think that's fucking stellar. That is some,
and his
that
delivery,
is some good character
his
stuff.
His delivery alone, dude. Like, I didn't tear up, but I wanted to.
You almost want to.
I was like,
because it's vulnerable.
Oh, man. Like
it was vulnerable.
And you can relate to it too with other like things in your life, with people in your life and shit. I'm just like, dude, like fucking hell. Yeah.
Like I'm trying here, but is it really worth it? That kind of thing. And I thought it was really interesting.
I still wish they'd stop talking about Steve like he's fucking dead. Or show me a goddamn funeral. Like one or the other.
So I guess we have that, and I guess Sam can just leave. Even though she was really like, it's not a request. Like he had to like come in and do this, and then he could just fuck off whenever he wanted, I guess.
I mean, I guess it's not a court ordered for him.
He's but you could lock the door on him, though. That's a police station interrogation.
Usually you have to knock to get out of those rooms.
Yeah, you have to get out. Yeah. So if she says no, he ain't going anywhere.
It's not like I could see Bucky walking out easier than him because Bucky could just break the fucking
break the door. But I get it. Scene's over. We got what we wanted. Sure. Moving on.
They got really close to each other's crotches.
Yeah. So got our jokes in there. We got our married couple jokes, our odd couple jokes. Fun. But luckily the scene had a payoff. So I'll let it be.
And then as they're leaving, we run into New Cap.
Again, just hanging out, randomly turning on a police siren. Like, you can just do that. All right, cool. You're Captain America. You're allowed to do that. Shut up, Michael. You can do that whenever you want.
It's actually extremely in character for this person.
It made me seem he seemed more like
makes me want to punch him again.
He seemed more like a frat boy with a punchable face. Like, that's it.
He's so fucking lispy and punchable. I'm telling you, the guy's got a lisp. It's driving me insane. I don't know.
They always try and play him like a hot boy too in like movies and stuff. Like, really? He's just, even girls probably want to punch him in the face, and not with their vagina.
Oh, jeez. I would love to see the mechanics on that.
This is also where we find out Carly's real, the leader of the Flag Smashers.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So pretty much they say, hey, we should work together. And they're like, nah, we can be like free agents, which honestly, it's really stupid when they just said how his Falcon tech is government issued property.
This is what I was wanting
and
to bring
he's
up.
like, that's how we found you.
Yeah.
Because they didn't track the bad guys. We tracked you.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that line too.
And then within like a minute and a half in this stupid fucking scene that didn't understand its own self, these two guys go, we can work off the radar. It's like, no, you can't. We literally just proved you can't because your wings are government issued.
And if so,
but the camera's gone now.
Well, even if they could work off the grid too, like they don't have to abide by, U.S. laws or whatever like that and shit.
But the Sokovia Accords still exist.
Yeah, the Sokovia Accords. Well, no, that it defeats the whole point or the whole threat.
Well, Sam never signed it.
It defeats the whole threat of the one guy getting across the border in the first episode. It's like, if you don't have to if you can work off radar
by jurisdiction,
your response, it basically becomes like Batman in when he went to go get the dude from China. Like, Batman could go fucking do it, but they couldn't extradite his ass.
I don't remember.
So it's like that with Falcon, although everyone knows who the fuck Falcon is. And then they just put a target on his back and kill him.
Yeah, he says, but you guys have rules of engagements and all kinds of stuff. We're more flexible. Yeah. We're free agents.
I liked the fact that those guys said that, we have this resources to find him. But the only reason they found him in the first place was they followed Sam and Bucky.
Yeah. Also, they're not free agents because Sam tells the banker in the first episode that he has government contracts out with himself.
That also.
So he is a government employee.
Technically, he is a free. Well, he technically is a free agent.
Freelance for the government. You have to go by their government laws.
I suppose.
I mean, you're still a U.S. citizen. You still have to abide by the laws.
That's where it turns out.
At least Bucky can just be like, yeah, I don't fucking exist. Like,
yeah. So I thought that scene was really tone deaf and didn't understand what was going on with itself.
Like, I get what they were trying to say. Like, we're like the A team. Leave us the fuck alone. Like,
yeah, we're the outlaws. Look at us. We're badass. So it was dumb. It was a dumb scene. And again, I want to say I think fake Kurt Russell is lispy. So I'm just gonna keep saying that. Wyatt Earp. So then we cut to Carly and the Flag Smashers. That sounds like a really cool punk name.
That's awesome name.
Yeah.
Punk band.
Imagine them in like a band battle off with Josie and the Pussycats.
Oh God.
Boom.
Hot. So they're loading up a plane with all the stuff that they stole for whatever they need. So
local authorities find them.
A bunch of black vans start coming, like 6 vans. So he's like, one of the guys decides to be like, I'll hold him off. What holding off means, he knocked over a pole so the cars couldn't drive by, and then he just sprints right at them so he can be turned into a pincushion.
I was so like, you have enough time to run to the fucking plane.
Yeah.
Or not only that, like he knocked the thing in, run into the building and actually hold them off.
This guy's name was, oh God, Matias.
Matisse?
Something like that. I don't know.
Dude,
Did he have the heart ring with the fucking monkey from Come to
I
Planet?
think everyone just wants to be Miles Dyson right now and just sacrifice them for no fucking reason.
For no reason.
This guy, his actor's name is Ness Batista.
Sexy.
Oh. Well, but like I'm saying, like, I understood, like, he had to hold him off, but his way of holding him off, like, he didn't even do anything after he knocked down the pole. He just ran at him and got shot to death.
It was
really lame.
He stopped the cars. Just go back to the plane.
It was so
You
lame.
can do shit. Yeah. Yeah.
It was really lame. And it was like because they wanted What's-Her-Face to cry and we were supposed to feel bad. That's all that was for.
But I don't even know
needed
if
him
they're
to die
good
so we feel
people, bad people. I don't understand them, so I can't
That's
have
the
any
other part.
emotion for them yet. Like, there's not like, okay.
So I was just laughing.
She looks sad. She can act. I get it, but
Yeah.
her looking sad isn't gonna make me feel anything for her instantly. You know. I don't know, man.
I just thought it was funny. I just giggled. Slow-mo ran at him and then just got lit up. I'm like, good job, buddy. You nailed it.
Like, I was expecting like him having a bomb strapped to himself or something. Anything would have been cool, you know.
So now we come to another weak-ass scene, which essentially closes out, but not quite. So he starts to, Bucky starts
There's an
talking
Easter
about
egg in this. I'll see if you've recognized it.
Bucky starts talking about a scientist that he needs to go talk to because of all this. And he says, my people, he's talking about Hydra. So he's like, we got to go talk to a scientist.
Like that he points that out later in the episode. So it's not like a race thing that he was talking about. Because I saw so many people still didn't understand that. They still thought it was like a race thing. And he's like, no, it's Hydra because I'm Hydra. Like,
yeah.
People don't pay attention to the shows that they watch, guys.
Well, I think he meant Super Soldier, but then he corrected him with Hydra. I think. But,
no.
But then he goes, but then I love the fact that it's Sam who ends up saying, oh, we're going to go see Zemo. I go, did you need to say it?
No, he didn't.
It was so not necessary for him to say that.
Because
he questioned him, like, should we really let's put you in the same room as this guy?
Well, no, Sam says that to him. To Bucky. Bucky's the one that suggests seeing him.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. Bucky's like, he knows all Hydra's secrets. Don't you remember Siberia? You're just going to go sit in a room with this guy? Yeah. Yes. He hasn't said the name yet. So if anybody knows the movies, we don't need to have it fucking force fed to us like a bunch of retards.
The movies.
Well, fuck them.
See,
I'm really because not only that, the very next scene we cut to classical music and we end the episode on his face.
Yeah.
So the people who don't know who he is, you'll find out in the next episode, or you can go back and go, "Oh, I know who that is."
It is definitely more like a book chapter end. Because I guess, because that's how I thought of it. I'm like, oh yeah, you would end the chapter with, we're going to go see Zemo. And then that's the last thing is like, oh shit, what happens next? But yeah, I guess since you mentioned we do see his security cam feed.
We see his face. It's fucking lame.
Hannibal Lecter scene.
Well, essentially, if he just had not seen Zemo, it's like, you're really going to go sit in a room with this guy? And he goes, yes. And then have Sam go like, oh, this is going to be great. And then
I guess we're going to see how well.
And then cut to the classical music, and then we see Zemo's face, and then credits. Boom.
Also,
done.
why not have anybody else go in that room besides Bucky?
Well, I was going to say, I guess we're going to see how well they deprogrammed him in Wakanda.
Yeah, I guess that's probably what it is about.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
That's probably what it is about the show.
Did you notice Zemo's prison number or prison room number?
Nah.
No, it was like Hellas something.
2187.
And that is
Star Wars.
Oh, fucking hell. Really?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
It's the cell Princess Leia's
Also, Zemo doesn't know everything about Hydra, by the way. Like,
They make a point in the Winter Soldier or the Civil War that he's extensively learned.
But not everything.
He knew about Hydra.
Like, I'd be going to find Grant Ward again.
Oh, Jesus.
I think he's dead finally.
Yeah, he is. He died after he became like possessed with the evil thing. Yeah.
All right. So you guys give your final thoughts, and then I'll go into like some of the characters and the theories I got.
Honestly, between a lot of the fights, some of the I really only liked like 3 or 4 moments of dialogue. I really don't like some of the retconning for the sake of references. I hate what they're doing to the power level and like the specialness of Steve. Mm-hmm. I'm kind of getting sick of watching that happen. As of right now, I'm not feeling it. I'm going to give it 2 more episodes tops, and I might not finish this. I'm not sure.
I mean, 2 more episodes.
I think it's kind of weak.
2 episodes left after that.
At that point, it's principle. I just don't want to finish it if I think it sucks.
Do you think all the episodes are going to stay at 50 minutes? Which they come out to about 40 something anyway. So
I wouldn't be surprised if we get a short one in the middle here somewhere, and then we get a long one to finish it out. It's kind of what I'm thinking.
My thoughts: I want my fucking Zemo entrance that I came up with months ago.
Oh no, what was that?
When he I said it would be really cool to open with the snap coming back and Zemo was in the water because the raft disappeared or some shit. And then him and Abomination had to get back to shore, and it would introduce Abomination again because he's going to be in the She-Hulk show, and then they could split ways.
Oh, you're totally not getting that.
I'm not. I'm never getting that.
You're 100% not getting that.
But no, as far as what we got, like I said, I love the human stuff. The action stuff is just it's basic, generic action beat for beat.
It really is.
I like to see because in the comics you get these human elements that we haven't really gotten to see a whole lot of in the movies and shit. So with the long form TV shows, I mean 6 episodes isn't long form, but it's longer than a 2-hour movie. We're getting like 6-hour movie. So you can get that, those little human element beats in there, like in the comic book series where you're going to see Peter Parker dealing with not having a fucking job or something like that, but we're not getting those in the movies, unfortunately. So it's nice to see that element coming into the TV shows. And, because I know they're not going to do that in the movies. They're not going to waste their time. They're not going to make a Zack Snyder MCU movie. So they're not going to waste their time doing that.
But see, that's just hard for me because it's like, then I say like, go watch Winter Soldier again. Go watch Civil War. They do a lot of character stuff.
They do.
And they do it really quickly.
They do.
Too. Like they do it really well. Stuff that really sticks with you.
And I think that
look at we got WandaVision TV show pretty much because of the screen chemistry that we had from Civil War.
Well, I think
because we only had like a couple of scenes in Infinity
the benefit
War.
Of like say Winter Soldier movie, that was good because they were putting in a lot of like character development for like your bigger characters like Captain America, for Black Widow, things like that. But they were also filtering in just enough action stuff in there, really good action, that the audience didn't realize what they were being fed with the smaller elements of it.
Sure.
Or a generic audience, I should say, not necessarily every audience member. So it flowed together well. I think with like the shows, you can really see the human stuff because they're like doing what? An action scene, human. Let's, have an asshole say something because he's wearing Captain America's mask, and then
here's a therapy scene, here's a family scene, here's an action scene, here's a establish your bad guy. The only problem is it still somehow feels rushed because you have so many plates spinning at the same time that it doesn't feel as satisfying because I'm too confused at what's going on. And I don't, and like by the time I have time to settle down on like my hatred for the whole Captain America stuff, I'm already on another scene. Like I don't get a chance to really take in anything that's happening. And I think that's the detriment that like you saw with like Mandalorian and shit like that, where it's this idea, or WandaVision probably. I mean, they could have fucked it up in even more episodes, but like that's when like a 13 episode season would be really nice. It would be perfect.
So when you go back to look at WandaVision as a whole, you realize that the show was nothing but like I don't even want to say fan service. Like there was a lot of fan service, yeah, but really it was just to fuck with fans, to get fans to come up with a better idea in their heads, because a lot of the things that fans came up with, besides the
Mephisto,
Agnes or Agatha, stuff, like that was the only thing that was really in there. But everything else, like the fucking Quicksilver shit, that was in there just to fuck with people. And it really pissed me off too, because I really like the actor, and it would have been they could have went so many places with it. But when you look at like the first 2 episodes of WandaVision, awesome, still awesome. I will watch those 2 over everything else in that show multiple times.
Not the third?
What's that?
Not the third?
The third, yeah, but the third starts to get into them revealing everything then.
Yeah.
So it was, I don't know. And then when they were revealing everything, it was like, remember that thing we just showed you in the last episode? Yeah, that didn't matter for nothing. Nothing really mattered in that show. The show was basically just a big buildup for her to get her powers, and that was it.
Yeah, and I'm afraid that like I'm worried. I'm really worried they're gonna ruin Zemo. I'm really worried about it.
You think they're gonna give him powers? I hope they don't give him powers. That would be stupid.
I'm really worried that they're gonna give him.
I don't think he has powers in the comics. So.
I don't recall if he ever got powers in the comics, but within the world,
I think he got some magic stones, but that's it.
Within the world that they set up with him, I think he's better to just be a human. To be the human that was able to almost bring down the Avengers, or did essentially bring them down.
He did.
Yeah.
I just love it because it's just like, because like when he's talking to Bilbo Baggins, he's like, what's it like to see your plan fail so spectacularly? And he's like, oh, did it? I was like, oh, you're so good. And he's like in a jail cell, pretty much fucked. And he's like, I did what I needed to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in the comics, the only alteration he has is slowed aging, and then he gets most of his abilities from a moonstone, which is magic.
Which I hope they don't go that route. I want him to stay human and badass.
I doubt they will in this series.
Like this little weak guy that can just take down a massive group. Also, I know it's not going to happen, but going to see him in this show, they should have probably grabbed up Black Panther, since he's the one who took him in. So
probably wouldn't hurt.
Or Black Panther should have taken his ass to Wakanda and put him in a Wakanda prison.
As of right now, I think
they had to give him up though to get the heat off Bucky.
I think this show is kind of meh right now for me, with a lot of worrying points, and that's about it. I won't say it's bad yet.
Yeah.
But depending on what they do to if they retcon any more stuff, or they
what was it that you said that they retconned for you already?
The thing with Bucky's arm kind of annoys me a little bit, and then there was
because he had lost it again.
Yeah, it's the second time. Like, I'd be fine if he beat him, but the fact that he like actually took part of his arm, it's like, fuck.
Maybe he just ripped his hand off, Oh.
Yeah, he didn't keep it.
Well, he said he took like half of it or whatever. He's like, took like half that arm. See, it grew back. But then like knowing that there's more super soldiers out there from time to time, like, but granted, I mean, you could make the argument that of course they'd be trying to do it ever since, but in the movies, they say they never tried again after Steve went in the water.
Right.
Bucky lose his arm? Was that between movies when he was
MIA? He lost it before.
He lost it in Civil War. War.
Yeah.
No.
Tony
his real
blew
arm.
it up.
His real
Tony
arm.
blew it off with.
He's talking about the other guy.
Arc.
That's between Captain America and Winter Soldier, because it was sometime when the guy was at war.
Yeah.
So.
Because he said it. He did it in. Was it Korea?
Sounds about right.
I think he said.
Yeah, I think so.
I think that's what he said.
Well, wasn't Isaiah in Korea?
No, that's what I'm saying. Isaiah was.
He's the one.
He
that
was
took
the one
it.
that was in Korea.
That took his real arm?
No, his fake
No,
arm.
not his real arm. His fake arm.
Well, no,
Because
I'm
his real
trying
arm
to
was gone by the end of Captain America, wasn't it?
Was it? I don't think so.
No, he just showed up with the metal arm, and
that's right. They show it in a flashback for Winter Soldier. They're dragging him through the snow with a
That's
missing
what it
arm
was
after
when
he
they
fell.
found him from the falling off the train shit.
That's it.
There we
I
go.
knew I had seen it. I'd seen him without his arm. So
Yeah, I was trying. I thought it was addressed, but I was trying to figure out. Yeah. It would have been better if he took his real arm.
moving forward with the show, though, like the next 4 episodes, I mean, it seems like a lot to put into a show. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not sure what they're trying to lead into, or if this is just one and done. This doesn't lead into a movie. You know, just do it and. Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if they're not even worried about a movie. I could see these ancillary characters just being TV show characters now.
Yeah, I think
It's like with Wanda and Vision, they're so powerful. You would assume they have to be part of Avengers, but like Falcon and Winter Soldier, you could have them just do their own.
I know
thing.
they're bringing in Peggy Carter's niece, or is it her?
Yeah, eventually.
Something. Yeah. There was rumors that they were going to bring in the new Black Widow, but
That's a different show.
that's not true.
No, that's a different show.
Different show.
That's going to
Okay.
happen in Black Widow.
Yeah, they're doing it in Black Widow, but that movie was supposed to have come out by now. So
Yeah.
there was a rumor that she was supposed to be in this, but I think because that movie has never coming out ever.
Man, talk about some bullshit if that would have happened. Like to have a new Black Widow in a TV show instead of
in the
like,
movie first.
Oh, she's coming.
between a couple of movies. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I'm cautiously
Optimistic.
pessimistic.
Oh.
Not even optimistic. To be honest, like I said, the stuff I did like was just good enough, but the rest of the stuff that was good was still meh. And the stuff that was really annoying really annoyed me to a point where I'm just like, ugh.
Awesome.
Ugh.
Like I said, my Marvel, like I'm watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and I find it better than the Marvel Studios TV on
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is so good.
So Tivis, what did you think, dude? And then give us your other tidbits, as John calls them.
Yes.
Like I said, I didn't much like the first episode kind of lost me a bit. It still had some interesting moments. I've had more fun talking about it with you guys than I did watching it.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
The second episode definitely drew me in. Like the banter, like as long as that continues, I'm here for it. I'll gladly watch any amount of episodes with these two. I don't care what kind of stupid shit they get up to.
Yeah, right.
I like the inclusion of, bringing in some more Cap elements. Who knows how many they're going to introduce, because there's a ton.
Do you guys think that they give this Captain America the dumb motorcycle from like the 70s movies?
Oh, God.
Wasn't that in the museum?
Yes, it
Oh
was.
yeah, because they used it in the first Captain America movie, didn't they? Yeah. Shit. But he's got to wear the stupid
They also
fucking
had-
helmet.
They also had the original shield from the comics too, even though he never had it in the movies.
Yeah, he had it in the first one.
held
Did
it.
he?
He had it in the first one during the bail bond stuff.
And then he took it
was
with
the
him.
shield.
It
It was the shield he used the first time.
before he got the other one. So yeah.
Yeah, you're talking to a guy who really likes the Captain America movies. I think the first one's highly underrated.
Very much so.
So I don't know. So we'll see how it goes. But
Yeah, I'm enjoying myself.
John-
so.
I'm probably not even gonna wait for. I'm gonna watch it week to week. I think. Just stick with
I
it.
might wait another week and watch 2 more at a time.
Yeah, I like to digest it a little bit because it lets me know if I actually gave a shit about it or not.
So how much do you guys want to know about U.S. Agent, his character?
Go for it.
Well, all right. So in the comics, he's got a temper tantrum. Like that is his one thing that defines him, is he has an anger problem. He gets upset easy, frustrated, and he gets his powers from a dude called the Power Broker, who is running a kind of super serum black market with this doctor. And okay, I want to include this because it is so stupid, it's hilarious, but is just perfect for those old comics. They would only be able to get him if they agreed to pay a price, which is usually they become an indentured servant working in his wrestling organization.
You know, because of the first part you gave me, I'm going to make a prediction.
Uh-oh.
I think this guy is essentially going to be your U.S. agent.
Yeah.
I think they have him being the nice guy and stuff, and like all wholesome-y, because I think he actually is a super soldier. That's why he was perfectly fine fighting these people and didn't get all fucked up. At least I hope so, because then that doesn't look like a big fuck up. That the serum's not working for him, and he's starting to slowly lose it, and he ends up turning into a baddie in the next 2 episodes. And that's why Sam has to actually be forced to take up the shield.
The mantle, yeah. I think in the last episode too, you're going to get the Captain America Falcon outfit as well. I feel you're really going to get that. It's going to probably be the last 5 minutes of the series.
Yeah.
There's some toys and stuff that kind of reveals stuff about the show, so ignore those because they always fucking ruin shit. But I think the person who texted the girl, the flag smasher girl, I think that is the Power Broker, and that they stole the serum.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So that's my theory.
At first, before they let us know that Zemo was still in jail, I thought it was Zemo. So, like.
I did too. Yeah.
So,
well, the guy could be working for Zemo,
but Zemo didn't want super soldiers.
That's also true.
And if they go backwards on that shit, then they just fucked up.
Well, no,
everything.
maybe that's why they're pissed off. These guys have been stealing the serum and making them again.
But if Zemo was in charge of all that shit, wouldn't he have had the serum destroyed? He literally killed the fucking super soldiers. He would have destroyed the serum.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, I suppose. Yeah.
I just hope they don't end with him gluing his fucking mask to his head like in the comics.
Oh my God, is that really what happened? Oh,
yeah. He gets it glued to his head with adhesive X, which is something his dad invented, and he can't remove it.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna do.
Please don't do that.
Anything about his hands and shit.
You want to ruin the character for me? That's a good start. That's a solid start.
I do have a correction for the Hobbit release. They said it was 37 in the show. Yeah. That was the original release in Europe. It didn't go to America until 38.
Well, maybe he was in Europe serving overseas.
That's a possibility, but just that's kind of in line with the Malcolm in the Middle DVD.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but I feel that he might have been overseas.
I would have assumed
during that time.
That's where they were
it very likely could have,
because they would have been in Germany essentially fighting.
Yeah.
Got them howling commandos, bro.
So, I'm trying to think. Is there anything else on this episode, guys?
I think that's it for me, man.
We will not probably. We most likely. I won't say definitely, but we most likely won't be talking about the rest of these until the show's over.
Not in this depth until probably the end.
Yeah.
Unless I watch an episode and I get real pissed off. That is the only way that's happening.
Then you can do a Patreon video.
Yeah, there you go. I'll do that.
We got shit to do otherwise.
Yeah.
So with that said, again, you can find us on Facebook and Twitter at Operation Babble, or you can email us at operationbabble@outlook.com. Email us, let us know what you think of the show, if you hate us, everything like that. If you want our personal addresses to come and find us and kill us.
Oh man. Oh, why immediately straight to the worst?
Because if you're not going to go to the top, why even bother?
Make sure to leave a review.
Leave us some reviews, good or bad. We like everything. We need to
like, subscribe, comment below.
There
whatever.
we go. And right now, when this episode drops, if you go to our Teespring account, Is it Teespring? Yes. Operation Babble swag at teespring.com. I'm trying to remember the exact name of it. Yeah, I get it, John.
Not even shilling properly.
We are doing a lazy design promo right now on all of our merch. You get $3 off of everything. So use promo code lazy design, and then you get $3 off all of our swag. So yeah.
Swag.
Anything else, boys? John,
No,
you got anything else going on? Nothing?
That's it for me, man.
Tivis, what'd you think?
I liked it.
Awesome. My quote comes from The Falcon and Winter Soldier by Sam Wilson. Every time something gets better for one group, it gets worse for another.
Damn right. I liked it too. Later, nerds.
Pieces of pizza.
You just finished another great episode of Operation Babble. You can catch every episode of Operation Babble on all your audio streaming services, including SoundCloud, iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Radio Public, and more. Don't forget to like us on Facebook at facebook.com/Operation Babble, and join the conversation today by searching for the Operation Babble group on Facebook. Links also in the description. Thanks and have a great day.